Hello and welcome back to Down the Track. Today we'll be reviewing the match between Kolkata Knight Riders and Rajasthan Royals. A big match for both teams that were struggling. So Rajasthan coming out the better team in the end. KKR looking poor and surprisingly as well. I think I had them to do well this time around, but they've surprised me. They've been a very poor. Rajasthan, I think they were also looking poor a little bit, but I think a nice big win for their confidence, and it's still early days in the tournament, so maybe take some confidence from this and take things along. And the likes of Chris Morris performing with the ball, and he's already done that with the bat, will give them some confidence. And just in general, Samson finishing the game off as well. It's always nice to see that for a Rajasthan perspective. Musti, I have with me as usual. Musti, thoughts on the game?
Yeah, I mean, a big win for Rajasthan. After a few losses, they really needed this. But at the same time, big loss for KKR. The batting has been an issue throughout this tournament. Apart from the Russell and Cummins blitz, they haven't shown much with the bat. Rana in the first game was really good, but after that, he's tapered off a bit. Him and Tripathi, they're getting starts, but they're not converting it. I think that's a big issue for them. Once you're getting the starts, you need to bat on for at least 15, 16 overs. And then the biggest problem I can tell you is the captain Morgan not firing, because he's the glue to that batting order. He links the top order with the lower order, and if he can rotate the strike, get like a quick fire 30, 40, 50, it really helps them. What's happening is that the top order gets some sort of start, and then they suddenly lose a bunch of wickets. Morgan comes in and he gets out quickly. Unfortunately, today, I wouldn't say it's his fault. He got run out, but at the same time, they need their big guns to fire. Russell, he couldn't perform today. Dinesh Karthik strike rate is a bit low. And apart from that, yeah, you can't expect Cummins and Russell to do what they do every single game, right? You need your top order to step up. And I just felt that they missed out after having a decent start.
Absolutely, and at a Wankhede pitch, it's just unacceptable to have a 130 kind of a run chase. It might not have been the beauty that we saw against in the Bangalore and Rajasthan game a couple of days back, but at least at the same time, there still needs to be some more application. I just felt that the application was missing from the Kolkata batsmen. I think a little bit more the approach, I guess, more than the application, the approach with which they were a little hesitant, I thought, overall, and that didn't help their cause at all. And 134 and then is almost 132 is almost nothing, a nothing score at a Wankhede. And you saw that Rajasthan were able to relatively easily in the end chase it down with a few balls to spare as well. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's just been those one of those kind of seasons for KKR where nothing is really going in their way. So a lot of work for Baz and Morgan to kind of figure out now some important decisions to make as well.
Yeah, really big decisions to make. And it's not like they have a weak team. They have some big players over there. They need them to click. I really don't understand. Maybe I just feel like we discussed this before. The top order and is completely contrasting to the middle order. I think they need to mix it up a bit.
Yeah.
I know Tripathi is in good form, but like maybe get Morgan up at one down, or bring someone like a Karthik there, and then put Tripathi to finish. Try to change them up as well. And also Gill, I think he's been in this complex this whole season that he needs to up his strike rate, and in that he's getting out too early. He needs to just play anchor. It's okay. These pitches sometimes are slow, and if he can bat till the end, till 17, 18 overs, it gives the platform. Let Rana attack, no problem. He's in good form. He's getting the boundaries. At least Gill should stay there. What happens is he's getting out too early, and then a lot depends on Nitish Rana and Tripathi. So they're not getting that opening start. If you lose to that wickets in the power play consistently on a regular basis, it's very difficult to build a base from there.
Absolutely, and I mentioned this before as well. Trying Shakib at 3 is a really good ploy. I
Yeah,
think, yeah,
you're right.
yeah,
Sorry, I forgot about him, but that's completely right.
yeah. I think Narayan, yes, as much as he can probably, I don't know. I just feel like, unfortunately, with due respect to him, I think he's past his prime. I don't think he's offering as much with the ball as we would have we've come to kind of get used to with him. And I think Shakib will give you a little bit with the ball as well. He'll give you 4 overs with the ball, and he's a solid number 3. So starting him off over there, and maybe Tripathi at 7, just to kind of around the Russell and Cummins to kind of just handle that finishing aspect, is probably the way forward for me, at least. But that's something that they probably have to look at as a ploy to kind of improve their batting, which has been a little bit awful almost this season. Almost all the matches except I guess a couple here and there, we've really seen them struggle with the bat. So
Yeah, no, 100%. I agree with that. I just had a question for you. Chris Morris, four wickets, 23 runs, 4 overs. I know you're not of this opinion, but I would still want to ask you: is he worth the 16 crore?
See, honestly, he's done it twice now. He's won you a game. I think against Delhi where he scored those sixes off of Tom Curran. I think it was in the last over. He's done it then, and he's done it with in today's game. So, I guess if he can give you 4 or 5 games, it's worth the money.
But yeah,
Uh,
because my point is the 16 crores. Well, you have to look at the context of it. You're just looking at the number. That wow, how are you giving 16 crore to Morris? What are you gonna do with that money?
yeah,
They had 3 4 options in that auction, which was Glenn Maxwell, Chris Morris, Jai Richardson, and a couple more players I forget on the top of my head.
yeah,
Right?
yeah,
These are the big players in that auction. You still have that purse, no matter what you do. You have that money. You don't have that money to spend it on like a Kohli or something. They're not a part of the auction. Neither is Bairstow or Warner. So you have the money. Where do you spend it? Now Rajasthan had to choose between Maxwell and Morris.
yeah,
Maxwell, the problem is he doesn't bowl. They needed a bowler, someone who could bowl and who could bat a bit. They needed a bowling all rounder,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
And at that time, Ben Stokes was fully fit, so they already had a batting all rounder, so they didn't need Maxwell. So what did they need? They needed a bowling all rounder, and they got him. I think he's worth every penny because you had that money available. Otherwise, what will you do with that money?
Yeah, I guess I agree with you. I think coming to Rajasthan, I think that overall they've been unfortunate. Honestly, the likes of Ben
With the
Stokes getting
injuries,
injured,
yeah.
yeah, and then Jofra Archer probably not coming in, not going to play the IPL anymore. So they've been a little unfortunate, and I think Morris has done a decent job. Yes, I guess he with the lack of with due respect again, I think he is also past his prime. I don't think he's the same
Mm.
lethal batsman bowler that we've known to come to know off of him to an extent like Narayan, but I don't think he's tapered off as badly as Narayan. I think yeah, already 2 games he's
He's
proven
won you
his
2 games,
yeah
yeah,
he's proven
and
his class in two
and the
games.
context which he was bought was as a backup to Archer, to combine with Archer to give Archer support. He was
Right.
there to give Archer support. He wasn't there to win you the IPL by himself. That money was spent because everyone wanted a player like that, and other teams are trying to jack the price up. I mean, I've said this quite a bit, but that's what it is. People are just looking at it in isolation. It's not the price tag. It's like you have to look at the money was available, so you have to spend it on someone. And RCB and Rajasthan both had a lot of money available, so they just kept upping each other's price. That's why Maxwell went for a bit. Even Jai Richardson went for like 14 crore, 13 crore.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I agree. I think it was important that Rajasthan tried to work on the complexion of the team, and it's unfortunate. I thought they had a couple of good buys. Yes, they paid a little bit more money on a few of their players, but
But they
that's
had
the
the purse
point.
available.
Yeah, that's the point of the auction, right? They
Hmm.
other teams will jack your price up, and they know that you have the money.
Yeah,
So it's
it's when he's there with the likes of Bairstow, and then there's Stokes, and then there is what do you call it, more Australian David Warner. When they're all together, then if you pay like 2 crore for a Bairstow and 20 crore for a Morris, then you can have that argument. You know what I
right,
mean?
right. I agree. I think that's fair. I think
Yeah,
and he's shown in 2 games, so you have to give him the credit that he has been good for this team in
yeah,
dire circumstances. In the circumstances where injuries have played a big part, the team has a new captain and new think tank, new management. So he's done his part. I think the
Hmm.
problem I have with Rajasthan honestly is the fact that they are a little like Bangalore of the past, where they keep chopping and changing a lot. They kind of have to stick to a think tank. They have to stick to a management team and give them a few years. You saw Andrew McDonald come in and he left again in a year. Before that, I think it was somebody else they left
Even
quickly as
Punjab
well,
have that problem. They get rid of personnel very quickly.
very quickly. So if I guess more and more teams have to understand that having a solid team core, I guess, having
Hmm.
a few players, having a core, and then having a management to work their magic around in a few years. You've seen it with Bangalore. Bangalore kept chopping and changing, but now I think they have a
Yeah.
3 or 4 year plan. So last year they looked okay, but they kind of tapered off in the end. This year they've started off very well again. It
Yeah.
remains to be seen how they perform towards the end of the season, but they're looking a better side. I think that they've gone in, they've spent the money in the right areas, and they've improved their side to a large extent. I didn't expect the kind of games the kind of wins that they're having, but I think that it's important that the credit is given when it's due. They've been good this season.
Yeah.
So
Hundred
I
percent.
think coming back to the game, I think Rajasthan overall, I think the fact that they finally started with Yashasvi Jaiswal
Yeah.
and you saw he
Good
looked
call.
good. Yeah, he looked good
Yeah.
for the small time that he was in the pitch. I feel like Butler is not providing enough, which has been a little bit unfortunate for
He's been my
Rajasthan.
captain every single game, man. So I just can't believe it.
I,
He's just not clicking.
I saw the Wankhede Stadium day before yesterday, and I was like, man, this is a Butler kind of an thing, and I captained him too. It's just my both my captain and vice captain didn't work today, so unfortunate.
Yeah, he's
But
getting bored LBW. That just means that he's getting beaten. I think there's something, he's not reading the pace of the pitch, the line length of the ball. I don't know what it is, but he's getting the boundaries. Don't get me wrong. He's not in bad form. It's just that even when he's set, suddenly he loses his wicket. I don't know what it is. Is there a lot of pressure on him? I don't know.
yeah, so I mean, we'll see. There is a problem with that Butler issue. I think if Butler can provide at the top of the order, I think this team looks a lot better. I think
Yeah.
Mustafizur, I think has been good for them. I think he's taken up the mantle of being that important bowler in Jofra Archer's absence, and I think he's doing okay. The likes of Sakaria, the rise of Sakaria has been
Oh,
good for them. Yeah,
the player of the season for me so far.
yeah, I think he's been very good. Jaydev Unadkat also, I think even today, I think even the games before, I think he's not his lethal best. We've seen better from him. I think he's doing okay. He's chipping in with the ball, which I think is very very important. So I think Rajasthan has the team. It's just a matter
The problem is their
of
spinners.
spinner. Their spinner.
Yeah, they're not picking up wickets with the spinners, and that's a lot of teams have good spinners picking up wickets, and these guys don't have that. That's the problem.
I just don't understand why not try Mayank Markande. I mean, if you
Yeah,
have him,
we say
then
this every episode. I don't know.
I don't know why they wouldn't try him. I don't know if it's like a discipline issue. I don't know what it is. Whatever it is, it just doesn't make sense because he had a breakout season in Mumbai, and since then he's just been benched everywhere he's been. So I don't know.
It
What it
doesn't make
is.
sense. It
Yeah.
doesn't make sense. Yeah, because
You
they really
saw-
need to. Yeah,
You saw the likes of Bishnoy. We kept saying Bishnoy is an important player.
Yeah.
Bishnoy is an important player. As soon as
He
he comes in, he picks up a couple of wickets for your team and he makes your team look better. So just try it out. What's the worst that'll happen? It won't work. It's not working now as well. How does it matter? Just try it out at least.
Yeah.
So I think that's the thing.
If you look at their bowling lineup, today everyone picked up wickets except for Dubey bowled one over.
Yeah.
But apart from that, like all the main bowlers picked up wickets except for the spinner Tewatia, and he was the most expensive out of the lot. So that's the issue with them. It's their spin department with the ball. But good thing is, after not picking up wickets against RCB, they picked up 9 wickets. So the fast bowlers are doing a better job now. They've improved. They learned from their mistake on the same pitch, on the same ground.
Yeah, and with due respect to Tewatia, he's more of a finishing batsman that gives you a couple overs with the ball, right? That's what his role is. So if you have him as your main frontline spinner, that's just a little bit crazy in my opinion. When you have the likes of Markande and Gopal, yes, he hasn't been working, but they're like give him a try, give him a ball, give him 3 games. If it doesn't work, you can always bench him again, So
100%, I agree with that.
Yeah, so I think still a couple of things that Rajasthan will want to improve on. But I think this will give them confidence going into the tournament now. The likes of Punjab getting the win yesterday, likes of Rajasthan getting the win today, it's keeping the tournament alive, So that's a nice thing always to see. Hopefully, hopefully the Sunrisers can join in with that win tomorrow, albeit against a difficult Delhi side. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, I think your player of the match.
Chris Morris, it has to be. He broke the back of the KKR batting, bowled really well in the middle overs and picked up 4 wickets. Sanju Samson batted really well as well. He really matured innings. I was very happy to see that. This could have gone south for Rajasthan. Even this chase could have gone south if he got out early. It would have been done. So I'm really happy that he showed maturity. But for me, it has to be Chris Morris because on this kind of wicket, 160, 170 would have been par-ish, 150, 160, and he took them down to 130, and it was his 4 wickets which did the damage.
I think so. I think Chris Morris was an important. The impact that we always talk about on the show. Is always the impact. So his impact was very, very important. 100%. I agree with that. But yeah, I think a lot of thinking for KKR to do, and
100%,
and some thinking still for Rajasthan to do. But I think some confidence to take from this game as well.
Yeah, 100%. I agree with you. KKR need to start very soon. They have power. They have power players, but if they lose another couple games, it'll really be difficult for them. So they need to, I think, shuffle the batting order a bit and then take it from there because they have quality bowlers as well. So they just need to combine and come up with certain plans, change it up a bit, and see how it goes, I guess.
I agree 100%. Maybe even try a Loki Ferguson. He's a good option to have as well in the bowling department. Just to give it a little bit more variety. I know it's going to be hard to figure it out, but I think they have a lot of players. They have a lot of depth also in that side.
I think that Saqib call you said. I think they should go start with from there and then see how it goes. Definitely, bat one down, change it up, and see if. And also another question would be if he doesn't perform another couple of games, what do you do with Morgan? He's your captain. What do you do?
Yeah. I think Morgan stays. I think Morgan is a good enough captain to just warrant his place in the side as a captain. To an extent, like Dhoni, you can't see a CSK without Dhoni. Dhoni's not going to be on the bench even if he doesn't perform at the bat, right?
Yeah.
So it's similar, I think, with
But that's the
Morgan.
thing; they're not getting the results either, right?
Right.
Right now, Dhoni is getting the results, but he's not. But if it was going south again, his captaincy will come into question. Now, Morgan, he's one of my favorite captains, but right now they're not getting the results, so you have to
Who
question his captaincy.
who will you replace him with?
Who will I replace him with? I wouldn't replace him, but if they have to replace him, they'll go someone young, probably Shubman Gill or something. I don't know, but or you go back to Dinesh Karthik, but that will be a crazy kind of thing. But no, I'm not. I wouldn't replace him. If you ask me, I would keep him because I know his ability as captain. But it's a results business, and you're not performing with the bat, so. You're saying Ferguson is there, Sakib is there. There's a lot of people waiting in the wings to bat. Yes, I know there's no captaincy options right now, but it'll come to question, right? If they lose another 2-3 games, it'll come into question.
Yeah, I think so. I think that there will be some questions about that. Every season we see this one team that kind of tapers off, and then is the team that spoils a party. We saw that with Chennai, and they spoiled a couple parties in the end in last season. Is KKR that team? We'll have to wait and see a couple.
Yeah, there's still a few. Yeah, there's still a few more games. The other teams also losing games here and there, so it's still a bit of time. But after 3-4 games, we'll have a better judgment of this.
Yeah, I think so. I think with Mumbai also losing and still stuck at 4. I think Bangalore is the only team that have gone away with 8 right now. So
yeah,
hopefully Sunrisers can beat Delhi tomorrow and keep them at 6 as well. So that Delhi can't go to 8. So
yeah.
some important. I feel like if the Risers win tomorrow and if Chennai wins tomorrow, I think that would mean there's not a lot of point difference. That'll be nice to see as well. So
yeah, because Delhi also doing well. If they do win, they'll climb towards the top as well, along with Bangalore. So
I think Chennai and Delhi are at 6, and Bangalore's at 8. So both of them, if Chennai wins tomorrow and Risers win tomorrow, Risers come in at 4. So then there's a lot of teams at 4 then again. So it's already getting tight. So that's always nice to see.
Yeah, and just quickly, let me just get my facts right. Just tell me if I'm saying facts or not. It's the land of your birth versus your in-laws tomorrow. Who are you supporting? I didn't say anything. I didn't say any lies or anything. I'm not making anything up, right? Just to confirm.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's true.
But top of the table clash, who would have thought after last season? But it is the top of the table clash. Everyone's waiting for this game right now. It's the fire versus ice, the Sensi versus the Prodigy, if you want to call it. Dhoni versus Kohli. Who's taking it?
Oh man, this is such a hard one. I equally hate both teams, so it's just very hard to me to pick the lesser of the two evils. But on a level of just looking at it on an analysis point of view, I think that Bangalore has been incredible. I think that they've proved me wrong. I have to be very honest. I thought that they'd have another season where they kind of falter, but I think that the kind of picks that they bought in and the kind of coaching that they've given and the kind of utility of their resources that they've come up with, I think it's been very, very good. The likes of Devdutt Padikkal doing well, the likes of Kohli and AB always being your stars of the show, putting in a Maxwell in the middle over there, Washington Sundar's rise, Siraj's rise, the likes of what's the other guy's name? Harshal Patel's rise.
Harshal Patel,
so everyone is chipping in. Usually with Bangalore, you expect 2 or 3 players to do very well and the others to falter. But this time we already spoke about 5 or 6 names that are doing very, very well. So,
but you know what it goes to show? It just goes to show that they were never a bad team. Yeah, who are the 2 changes this time? Harshal Patel, Jameson. Would you ever think these 2 players will change the whole team? You never think like that. You still felt they had the same squad, same issues. It's just like they didn't get their plans right. The players did not click at the same time. Now the players are clicking at the same time. It's very difficult to prove something like this, but it comes down to the simple things. You're clicking at the same time. You have the players, and now you're following your plans and you're executing them properly. It's the same players apart from 1 or 2. You can't yes, Maxwell is also there, but before they had Gale. Before that, in the fast bowling department, they had someone like a Tim Southee. They had Mitchell Stark, Dale Steyn. They've had bowlers, so you can never tell me that they always had a good team. But now they're finally getting it right. They're clicking. I think the planning has been much better this season, and it's a simple thing. Yeah.
It's credit to Mike Hesson and Simon Katic. I think both of them have
It's a
worked
long
very well.
process, right? They've been doing this for a couple of years now, and now finally their plans are getting implemented. It doesn't happen straight away overnight, and they took over maybe a couple years back or last year.
I think Mike Hesson came in last year, but Simon
Sure.
Katic was there a year before that.
Yeah, so just 1 or 2 years. So it takes time for them to implement the plans, and now it shows they're getting the rewards, but still a long way to go. But if they win tomorrow, they have 1 foot in the playoffs, man. Half a foot or 1 foot at least. Yeah.
I was gonna say I was gonna say Bangalore has been doing great. Having said that, Chennai is gonna win tomorrow.
Chennai is gonna win tomorrow.
I think I'm gonna go with Chennai and Hyderabad tomorrow. I think
Yeah.
obviously Hyderabad for biased reasons. I
Biased.
think
Very biased.
I think Delhi is a good side. There's no denying that. But I just want to see, and it's a Chennai pitch. We'll probably see a 120-130 score again. So it's just a matter of who holds their nerve better in the pressure situations in that game.
Yeah.
I'm hoping for Sunrisers to do that, honestly.
Yeah, I think Delhi are the strongest team in this tournament, to be honest with you. Just the way the squad is in the last 3 years. Even last year, I thought they were the strongest team, even though Mumbai, it's about clicking, right? Like, now Mumbai, all their players are not clicking. The middle order was clicking last season. Now RCB are clicking. But Delhi overall, whether they click or don't click, they're still, I think, a very difficult team to beat because of the squad depth that they have, and they have some experience and youth combination, which is deadly. But I think against Sunrisers, they don't really fancy playing them, even though they've beaten them before and Sunrise beaten them as well. But it's a kind of clash because, their batsmen like going for it, and Sunrise have some good bowlers. Rashid Khan versus Shikhar Dhawan, that is the thing I want to see, the battle that I want to see.
And that's going to be a fun battle for sure, and 100%. I agree with you, but I think this Delhi side is very, very strong because you have to see that they are doing well again this season without 3 of their top 11 players in the last season: Nautiyé, Akshar Patel, and Shreyas Iyer. Of course, they're going to get Nautiyé and Akshar Patel back, but even without
Akshar Patel might not play tomorrow, but he's back.
But he's back. I believe he's going to train, and even Nautiyé is going to come back soon.
Now, what does that goes to show you? The squad depth.
Exactly, and they've been fantastic, I think, all around. And I just hope that Sunrisers has a better game tomorrow, honestly, in that aspect of things. I also want to just quickly, before we get out, Delhi played their first game in Chennai in the game against Mumbai, I think it was,
Yes.
and they assimilated to the conditions very well. And they played a very good game. Very good game. So the conditions and the think tank, the management, I think that that is a fabulous team. And it's a
And
team
you
to
can
watch
see it
out
from the first over. They gave it to Marcus Stoinis. The guy got smashed in every other game. He got smashed. But against the defending champions, they read the pitch. It was a mixture. I'm sure Ponting was involved. I'm 100% sure he was involved. But he discussed it with Rishabh Pant, and they just went for it. And I'm sure it was a Ponting move. But whoever did that move, it's an incredible move. And it showed that these guys are prepared, not only on the field, but off the field as well.
And it doesn't matter who did it, as long as it's done right. So that's all that matters. And absolutely.
Yeah, I guess so. 100%. I completely agree with that. But it just shows that whoever's thinking, they're thinking properly, and but it's also credit to Stoinis. It's one thing giving him the ball, then he has to deliver. His confidence was lacking with the ball until that point, and now he's got it back.
Absolutely, and looking forward to it. It's going to be a good cracking game.
Yeah, for sure, man.
And going with Chennai and Hyderabad for tomorrow. What about you?
I'm gonna go for biased reasons Hyderabad, but I feel it's gonna be a very difficult match. But I think a lot will rest upon Johnny Bairstow, David Warner, and Williamson, like it always does. But Bairstow in particular, if they can attack the likes of Rabada and stuff, then it'll give them confidence. And then with the ball, it's Rashid Khan. How does he bowl to the lefties? Because we've seen him destroy the right-handers, but with the left-handers, if they start pulling out the reverse sweeping him, if Dhawan, Pant attack him, how will he respond? Even though it'll be difficult on this pitch, I still want to see that. But yeah, I'm going to go Sunrisers in the first game, Bangalore versus Chennai. I think I'm going to go in this one, RCB.
Because it's your favorite team.
That came right in my face. Like I saw that coming. But I just feel that they're in really good form against Chennai team who are also doing really well. But I just feel the Maxwell and De Villiers, these guys have done something where, like, even if it's a slow pitch like today, it doesn't matter. They'll score 200. Yeah. So now their batting is coming onto that level where they can chase anything and score anything. Yeah. So if they have that form, then it's difficult to beat them. And the bowlers, you can always chip in and think. It's just the batting right now is in that kind of form. Right. You know what I mean? But in the long term, I would back CSK because these guys bat till 11.
Yeah.
So they're a type of team. They can their highest score can be 30, but they can go and score 190, 200 like they did against Rajasthan. Yeah. Why? Because everyone will chip in with 20s. from till number 10.
Yeah.
So that's in the long run, this is going to be a difficult team to beat Chennai.
Yeah, I agree 100%. And looking forward to the games tomorrow. 2 crackers up for grabs tomorrow.
Yeah, for sure, man. Best of luck, and I'll catch you after.
Right.
All right, take care.